Shalom, Israel, shalom. All right. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach, Malak Shai. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all the Akim and Akwathim out there. All right. Keeping the commandments, having faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom to all the mighty brothers that are out there on the highways and byways, making the body a living sacrifice. All right. And also keeping the commandments, have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom to all the sisters as well. Right, holding it down in a household, reverencing their husband, doing the duties of a righteous woman. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All right, today on this Mapogo Monday, we're going to be talking about how you know you're an Israelite. All right, this is really milk now. Right, this kind of refresher to the brothers and sisters that's been in this truth for a minute now, and this is also a great lesson for the brothers and sisters that are just coming into this truth. All right, because this is much needed. All right. So how do we know that we're Israelites? Right? We know we're Israelites based off of prophecy, history, and archaeology, man. Right? With the history we understand with the slavery, right? The rape, rob, and murder that our enemies have done against us, right? Against the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All of that is recorded within the Bible. Right? It is ultimately called curses, man. Everybody at a point of time heard about generational curses, but never knew where they were found. All of those so-called generational curses are found in the Bible. All the things that we are going through today in 2023 are found within the Bible because we are a cursed people. We are cursed because we do not know the law of the Lord, man. We are cursed because we rejected and disobeyed the Most High God and his instructions, man. Right? Let's get John. John chapter 7. All right? Because this needs to be known to everyone. All right? Even with brothers teaching out there on the highways and byways, this is kind of the first things that is taught, man. All right? So like you bear with me. All right? Let me see what I want. So like you bear with me, Israel. Salakia. All right. All right. I might get it. Okay. Let's get John chapter 7 and verse 49. Right? John chapter 7 and verse 49, and it reads, "But this people who knoweth not the law are cursed." So because we do not know the law of the Lord, we are a cursed people. Right? That goes into that Hosea 4 and 6, man. Our people reject knowledge. Because we do not have any knowledge about our God, because we don't have any knowledge about the law, statutes, and commandments, we became a cursed people, man. Right? And this was ordained to happen, man. Right? Our people are very stiff-necked and hard-headed. They like to kind of do their own thing, right? Which is ultimately why we're in captivity today in 2023, man. Right? We are cursed because we do not know the law. That's why it's very important for every so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American that comes into the truth of the knowledge of them being a Hebrew Israelite. It's important for you to get into the law, right? Because without the law, we don't know what's going on, man. We don't know what to do, right? We have been given to a lawless nation, man. At a point in time, we had our own laws and we still have them today, man. But a lot of our people do not know Neither do they even want to gain the knowledge, man. A lot of our people do not want to gain the knowledge, right? Let's get a Song of the Three Holy Children, right? Also the prayer of Azarias, right? It is indeed in your Apocrypha, right? When coming into these lessons, you should have your Apocrypha, your Bible, and a pen and pad, man, right? So the Song of the Three Holy Children, right? There's only one chapter, right? And I want verse, the whole thing is really good, right? The Song of the Three Holy Children, let's start at verse number 6. For we have sinned and committed iniquity, departing from thee. In all things have we trespassed, and not have obeyed the commandments. So like, yeah. We have not obeyed the commandments of the Lord, man. Right? We're in this predicament. We're in poverty. We're smitten with madness because we do not keep the commandments of the Lord, man. Instead, we want to march around our cities, man, asking the so-called white man for justice. Right? We wanna try to start riots, man. Right? We want to go ahead and rob and kill our own people, man. Right? We try to oppress our own people. Right? That's off. Right? We are in this thing because we do not obey the Lord in keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Everything will change if we keep the commandments, man. We have done everything in this world, right, to try to come out of the ways of how our community is, man. It has not worked, right? We need to keep the commandments. That is the only thing that we haven't done yet as a nation, right? We have sinned and committed iniquity, departing from thee. In all things we have trespassed and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them. Neither done as thou hast commanded us, that it might go well with us, man. And keeping the commandments, it will go well for us, man. And keeping the commandments, it will do good for us in the state that we're in, man. Right? So like, yeah, bear with me, Israel, right? Coming down with a little code, man. Right? Verse number 8. Wherefore, all that thou hast brought upon us and everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done in true judgment, man. Right? The things that we are going through, these curses, it was true judgment, man. It was righteousness, man. Right? Because we made a covenant with the Lord. We made a covenant with the Lord, man. Right? And we broke our promise, man. Right? We didn't do what we said we would do, which was serve the Lord, man. The Most High didn't go back on his promise. The Most High didn't break the covenant, man. We did. We went off. We became hard-headed, man. So now we're stuck in these generational curses until we come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Right? Verse number 9. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of a lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of God, into an unjust king and the most wicked in all the world, man. So because we do not keep the commandments of the Lord, the Most High God has sent us over to a lawless nation, man. A nation where they have laws but don't keep them themselves. They make laws to try to keep us in check, man. Right? They make these laws to make sure that we don't keep our laws that the Most High God has given us, man. Right? We have been given into the hands of a lawless nation because we do not know the laws of the Lord, man. The laws is what makes us a holy and separate people, man. Right? We know we're Hebrew Israelites based off the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Right? Let's get that. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse number 46. All right? Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse number 46. So like here. Verse 46, and it says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, man. So these curses, right? Right? So like, let's read verse number 15, right? To know what's going on. Right? This Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, man. So if we were not to keep the commandments of the Lord, obey his voice, man, right? Follow his judgments, follow his statutes, right? We will be cursed as a nation of people, man, right? And it will surely come upon us and overtake us. And we see that happening today in 2023, man, right? There's no point in time where we were free, man. Right? Well, we were free. We were at a point of time we were over many nations, all the nations, man. Right? Because we kept the laws of the Lord. But now we've been in captivity for over 400 years, man. Our people have forgotten who they were. Right? Our people don't remember the laws of the Lord. Now all they remember is Christmas and Thanksgiving, man. Y'all don't remember Feast of Tabernacles and Feast of Dedication, man. The new moons and the Sabbath, right? These are things that our people do not remember, man. Because through so many years of being in this captivity, it's been indoctrinated from generation to generation that we belong to America, but we belong to the Most High God, man. Right? And that's why we are in captivity, because we do not follow the laws of the Most High. Right? So verse 46, right? And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Why do these curses have to be upon the Hebrew Israelites for a sign and for a wonder? It's to show you who you truly are. It's to show you who the true Israelites are, man. Because there's some people, right, that are calling themselves Israeli or Israelite, right, calling themselves Jewish, and they don't fit any of the curses. These curses were supposed to be a sign for a wonder and upon the Israelites forever, man. Upon the Israelite seed forever. So whoever's going through these curses are the Hebrew Israelites, man. Right? And doing diligent searches, right? And the Most High putting the spirit on elders to even give out this information, man. Right? It's found out that it's the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. All right? Verse 47, it says, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, man. We are in captivity because we do not keep the laws, and we didn't want to serve the Most High God with joyfulness, man. Right? When you read Numbers chapter 11, man, Numbers chapter 12, our people, the Hebrew Israelites, would always complain about something, man. When you got it good, our people tend to do that today. The room too small, the house too small. I wish I had more food, right? That's complaining, man. You have what you need. You don't always need to have what you want. That's what our people need to understand. The Most High gives you what you need to survive, man. And a lot of the times he might give you even extra, man, for serving him in sincerity and in truth. For being joyful in the gladness of heart and serving Yahweh by Shema Shah. He might give you more. But our people, majority of our people, they love to just nag and they love to just want more from the Most High, man. Our people love to complain when you have everything right in front of you, man. Right? Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou send enemies against us, man. Right? Isn't that what, and this kind of homework for people, right, to go into that history, right? In 70 AD, right? When the Romans came over to our land, right, and we had to flee from them, man, and go into the west coast of Africa, right? And even with the Europeans coming to Africa to get us, man, The Most High sent those people, our enemies, to us, man, because we did not want to keep the laws of the Lord. So how do we know that we're Hebrew Israelites? Is based off these curses. What happened to us within prophecy that came to pass, man? Nobody else fits this book but you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Take hold of your heritage. Take hold of your nationality, man. Come back to the Lord. So these generational curses could depart from us. So that the tables could be turned. So that we could be put back on high above all nations. And we have our enemies, our oppressors at our damn feet, man. Right? Verse 48, it says, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. In hunger, man. You have to serve your enemy just to eat, man. We ruled everything on this earth. We didn't have to serve our oppressor to eat. We had our own cattle, man. We had our own land. We didn't have to go to the grocery store, kind of buy up all the GMO foods, man. We didn't have to go to our enemy and ask, hey boss, can I buy that? I ain't got enough money. I need $3 more. And he kind of say no. We didn't have to do that, man, at a point of time. But now we have to do it because we disobeyed the Most High God. So we have to serve our enemy in hunger, man. When we get hungry, we got to go to our oppressor. Sluggy, right? In hunger and in thirst, man. When you're thirsty, you got to go to your oppressor, man. You don't have your own well, right? You don't have your own space where it distributes water, man. Esau makes water factories, man. That's why you pass by certain states and it just stinks in the air. The air is polluted, man. Because of his factories. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Why? Because we did not keep the laws, man. As being God's chosen people. These curses is what proves you to be an Israelite, man. Right? And in nakedness. When you want clothes on your back, right? When you need clothes for your children, right? You go to your oppressor because we don't own any textile mills, man. All the cotton that our ancestors picked, man, we don't own none of that because the curses got into that as well. We wouldn't eat off the fruit of our labors, man, but the other nations will. And we going to get on that, right? Let's finish this up. And in want of all things. So in all things, you got to go to your oppressor. In every single thing, man. To even when you was born, right? That birth certificate had to be signed off. Who had to sign off on it? Your mother, your father. Them not the only two. The so-called white man had to sign off on that too. He had to know when you came into this world. Put you in the system, huh? And now a death certificate. You can't die in peace without the so-called white man writing off on your death certificate, man. To pronounce you dead. You need a driver's license. For our travelers, you need a passport. To get certain jobs, you need a certificate. For education, you got to go to your oppressor school, man. This is of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. This is what we go through. Esau, the so-called white man. Moab, the so-called Chinese. Amalek, the so-called Jewish man. Salakia, Ishmael, the so-called Arabians. They own what they have, man. They own everything they have. They eat off their own thing. They eat off their own labors, man. But we don't. We always have to go to somebody else to get what we need, man. Because we are under the curses. And these curses which shows you that you are a Hebrew Israelite, man. Right? So let's get Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? In verse number 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, man. Whose sons and daughters are given to another people? What majority of a race is adopted, man? Are orphans, right? In slavery, right? In hard bondage, man. Our ancestors, man. They sons and they daughters were given to another people. Even today in 2023, man, our sons and our daughters are given to another people. What does DCFS do? They come and kind of take your child. They tell you, hey, you're not raising your child, right? They tell you how you have to raise your child. If you don't do this, this, and that, hey, we're taking your child. You'll never see your child again. Then they give it to another people, another nation of people, man. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. That is talking about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. If it's talking about the so-called white man, hey, somebody got to prove that to me, man. If it's talking about the Chinese man, hey, somebody got to prove that to me. If it's talking about the stinking Africans, somebody has to prove that to me, man. But it can be proven through prophecy and history that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have went through this, man. These fit our people, right? And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. That's what our people was doing, man. Our people they wanted their children back, man. Right? They were sorrowful when their children was taken, man. Not knowing what state they're in, what condition they're in. Does the child have clothes? When is the last time I'm gonna hold my child, man? The so-called white man don't go according to this, man. He does not deal with this, man. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans do. And it's playing upon tables. If you don't understand this, I mean, hey, man, this kind of wasn't for you to know. Because this is playing upon tables to the ones that are in this truth now and know who they are, according to the Bible and not according to the so-called white man. Right? Verse number 33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. So the fruit of our labors, we weren't going to eat of our own labors, man. Our other nations eat off what we work for, man. Right? We get paid, right, from hard labor, man. And we got to put the money right back into Esau. We got to give it right back to Esau. Right? We're not eating off, we're getting the bare minimum, man. A lot of the times, our people not getting nothing. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, man. We're oppressed, man. The so-called white man cannot say he's oppressed. He can't. He own everything. A homeless so-called white man could go into the bank and get a loan. But with you, it's a different story. Hey, kind of get on my bank. Right? You don't belong here. No colors allowed. Ain't nothing changed, man. Our people think they're free, but yeah, you're still getting hung. You're still getting kidnapped, right? You're still getting destroyed. You're still getting stuff thrown into your communities, man. Damn drugs and guns, man. You're still getting your houses destroyed. This book, these curses, the book in general is talking about us, man. Can't nobody else relate to this book but us. Can't nobody relate to these curses but you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Verse number 34, right? So that thou shalt be mad for thy sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. You wonder why people are always mad, why we always angry, why we're always so-called aggressive, man. Because we're being oppressed. That's one of the curses. We were going to be mad because of the oppression. Esau, every time, just pay attention. Just pay attention to how Esau walked, man. He walk all happy and prideful. And I hate the walk, man. I hate seeing that. Because they walking on stolen land. That they raped, robbed, and murdered for, man. They brought destruction to our people. Right? So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see, man. We're mad because we're being oppressed. Ecclesiastes 7:7, a classic, man. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. This oppression makes a wise man mad because he knows who he is now. That wise man is not comfortable where he at. That wise man has knowledge, understanding of who he is now. But what our people don't know. All right? We need more people to wake up to the truth. It's not just about one person. It's not just about a couple of people, man. We need more of the nation to rise up. We need more of the nation to wake up. All right? Verse number 54, right? So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother. Right? So that's another curse on our people, man. We were going to have an evil eye towards our people, man. We were tender and delicate towards one another. But now we hate each other, man. The so-called white man, hey, he ain't got to know the person that he's sitting right next to, man. And he'll give him a hug, man. Hey, how you doing? Right? Hey, how's the family going? But when we sit next to each other, hey, why you touching me, man? All right? Hey, where you from? You ain't from around here. I ain't never seen you before. Hey, let me see. Hey, what's in your pockets? Hey, what kind of shoes you wearing? Hey, I know you ain't just step on my shoes. That's having an evil eye towards your brother, man. Only you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans can relate. Nobody else can relate to this, man. Why? Because this book, the Bible, it wasn't made for everybody to read. This is not made for the so-called white man to read. This isn't made for the Chinese man to read. This isn't made for the Arabians or the Africans to read, or the Japanese, man, or the Palestinians. It's not made for these other nations to read, man. It's made for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and y'all have yet to take it off your grandmama's nightstand that's been sitting there for years and years, man, to learn who you are. That thing's still collecting dust, man. Go and grab that book, shake the dust off, and read, man. This is much needed. Gaining the knowledge of your God is needed, man. How else are you going to make it out of Jacob's trouble? How else are you going to make it into the kingdom? How are you going to get saved out of this captivity if you don't know how to escape? The answers are within the Bible, man. They're literally within the Bible. You need to read them. You need to read the accounts. You need to be taught again. No doing it by yourself. Because we came into this, we didn't come into this captivity alone, man. You yourself alone didn't come into this captivity. We came in as a nation, and we're gonna leave out as a nation, man. So you need to be taught again. You can't have on your mind that, oh, I could do this myself, right? Let me get the breakdown, right? Let me go off my own opinions. No, man. You need to be taught again. There's a reason why the Most High raised up certain teachers in this truth to teach, man. There's a reason why we have to prove each other, man. To decipher what is good and acceptable to the Most High God. To have that certain type of discernment. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, man. Our people lead in that. Having an evil eye towards their wife. Domestic violence, man. And towards the remnant of his children. Hey, that's child abuse, man. That's child abuse. Having an evil eye towards your children as well, man. And towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Now it's one parent household, man. Now we're a fatherless household. Now the woman has to try to do everything. Nobody else relates to this but our people, man. Understand that. Nobody else. It's okay. The so-called white man, when he read that, he can't say, oh, I've been through that. No. As a nation, we have been through this, man. It's countless of families of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that have not had their father in the household, man. Countless. Right? Verse number 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, huh? That's our women. Now our women hate the men. So-called black woman hates the black man. The so-called Hispanic woman hates the Hispanic man. The so-called Native American woman hates the Native American man. It's just hate going around, man. Within our nation. Nobody else relates to that but us, man. The woman, hey, she got an evil eye towards her husband. So now she kind of just, hey, nagging all the time. Right? She kind of, hey, throwing plates around. She might hit you in the head with a damn pan, man. Hey, what you been doing today? I've been at work all day. What you mean? Now there ain't no trust. Now she gonna try to take the children, put you on child support, and it's gonna happen if she wanted to happen. Because the system, hey man, it has a place for Eve, man. But for the man, hey, Esau much rather want you to live in a box, man. This is a relation between the Most High God and the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Nobody else should be reading this book at all. Nobody. All right? So like, her eyes shall be evil towards her husband of her bosom and towards her son and toward her daughter. A lot of the times, hey, our sisters, our women have a evil eye towards their sons and their daughters. Right? Hey, you acting just like your father. Ain't that what they say, man? Well, when that certain type of mother kind of getting their emotions, hey, they kind of take that out on the children, man. We know a couple like that, right? Now, does the so-called white woman do that? Or does she try to play mama bear? Right? Karen don't get mad at her kids. Her kids could be like, shut up, mom. She not gonna get mad. She gonna kind of close the room door quietly. Right? Walk back in the kitchen and start cooking again. The so-called white man, woman cannot relate to these things, man. Only we can. All right? Verse 68, right? And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, the way of transportation, right, was to be put on ships, man. We came over on ships into another slavery. That's what Egypt means, man. Right? Let's get that in Micah chapter 6 and verse number 4. This is Micah chapter 6 and verse number 4. For I bought thee up out of the land of Egypt and redeemed thee out of the house of servants. So Egypt is synonymous for a house of servants or a house of bondage, man, according to Exodus chapter 20 and verse number 8. Or slavery, right? It's another name for slavery. So when we were going to be brought back into Egypt again, the Most High God was talking about back into another slavery. By the way of ship. Who was taken into slavery by the way of ship? Only the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Right? Was the white man taken on slave ships? Right? Was the Chinese? Right? Were the Africans? No. You was, man. Your ancestors. So this doesn't go with nobody else, man. We relate to these curses, man. Right? So Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bond men and bond women. Who was sold after coming off of those slave ships? Salakia. Who was sold coming off of those slave ships, man? Right? Your ancestors were. These curses are what shows you, and today in 2023, who the Hebrew Israelites are, man. You're not going to find this in the Quran, man. You're not going to find this in the Book of Mormon. You're not going to find this in the Book of Enoch. You're going to find this in the Holy Bible, man. Right? The book that was written for you. These records were taken down for you. So it's high time that we wake out of this sleep, man. It's high time to have the understanding that through these curses is what proves you to be a Hebrew Israelite, man. So what do we have to do to come out of this predicament? What do we have to do to get our people out of poverty, right? How do we get our people off these drugs, man? We come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord so that we can come out of captivity. This is the whole plan, man. That's the mission of every Hebrew Israelite. It don't matter if it's a different congregation, man. We got the same mission. Wake up our people to the true nationality. And by the power of the Most High God, they keep the commandments and have faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai. That's the mission, man. Right? So how do we know that we're Hebrew Israelites? By the curses, by history, by archaeology, man. Right? So through these curses, you found out that these curses only fit you and your people, man. These curses don't fit everybody. Right? These records was written down for you. So you kind of got to open up your book and read it, man. You got to get into the scriptures, right? You can't be lazy, right? You can't be slothful, man. You have to do the work, man. Right? And this is a prime example, man. I'm coming down with a little cold, man. Did I say in my head, oh, man, I'm going to Mapogo on Monday. I don't feel like doing it. No, man. It's a job. This edification. This is something that I have to do, man. It's of the Most High God. Can't be lazy, man. You got to, hey, Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 6, real quick. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse number 6, man. Because soon, hey, for the newcomers that's coming into this truth, man, there's going to be a point of time where you teach as well. Hey, you men, you're going to teach, right? It don't matter who you are. Every man is going to teach somebody. If you have children, you have to teach them. If you have a wife, you have to teach her, man. You're going to be a teacher. It's going to happen. But you have to gain the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord. You have to grab the basics of the scriptures, man. Desire the milk of the word. 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2, man. Right? Proverbs chapter 6 and verse number 6. It says, go to the ant, thou sluggard. You have to look at an ant. Look at the work ethic, man. An ant does not get lazy. An ant will come out of the holes, man, and go find some crumbs and take it back to his colony, man. Every single day. He don't care if he gonna get stepped on, eaten by other things, man. Killed. He don't care about that, man. He knows his mission. He goes and executes it each and every day. So you gotta kind of look at the ant. Look how it moves. Look at his work ethic, man. Hey, you do your best to work hard for Esau. Work 10 times harder for y'all by Shemal Shah. When it comes to the high and holy days, you spend over $5,000, almost $10,000 on the holidays of America. Hey, go 10 times harder for the Most High God in the feast days and the high and holy days of the Lord. Don't be lazy in this truth, man. Keep going. Keep enduring, man. Hey, that might be the next lesson, man. Endurance. Faith. A lot of the times these Mapogo Mondays are exhortations, man. Edification. These videos are for the man, the woman, and the child, man. This for the whole family. This video in particular, man. How do you know you're a Hebrew Israelite? This goes for the children as well, man. The children got to know. The children got to know the truth, man. Things have to stop being hidden from the children. You have to teach these laws, statutes, and commandments to the children. There's so many stories within this Bible. Hey, man, you could read them as a bedtime story. You might not even get through all of them. You might not even get through one, man. Especially when you're trying to read Psalms. You might not get through the whole book, but it's a bed. Hey, you got to teach these to your children. It could be something when they first wake up. When they decide to watch some cartoons, hey, read them some scriptures, man. When they getting ready to lay down, go to bed, hey, read them a bedtime story, man. Don't try to bust out a book that you got from the library. I'm not saying that you can't do that. But I would recommend and suggest that it be the Bible, man. This is a history book. When you're taking your child to school and you got them in history class, who are they learning about? Are they learning about their people? Are they learning of who they are and what their people do? The only thing they're being taught, and nowadays they're not even being taught it no more, but it was slavery, man. There's the next generation coming up that don't even know nothing about slavery. Don't know what happened. But now they're being taught that, hey, slavery was beneficial for us, for the slaves. That's off, man. Soon they're going to be teaching, hey, they sold themselves into captivity. That's off, man. Teach your child. These schools is getting more wicked and wicked by the day, man. Teach your child the righteousness of the Bible, of the Lord. Why not? Show them who they are. Show them this video. This is how you know you're a Hebrew Israelite. You should never call yourself black no more. You should never call yourself African American no more. You shouldn't want to hate on your people no more. You should love your people. This not only for the parents, man. This for the children too, because hey, it's the next generation type of thing, man. This got to be passed down from generation to generation. So hey, things could keep on moving. Things could get better and better throughout the years, man. All right, Israel. So how do you know you're a Hebrew Israelite? Based off the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15 on down. You know you're a Hebrew Israelite by these curses, man, that the Most High God put upon you. And to get these curses off, you have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? So let's continue to endure, right? Let's continue to have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. Let's stay diligent and obedient to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So that we won't be cursed anymore, Israel. So that we could be put back above all people on the earth. Okay? All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom. Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.